Good morning. It is 6:30 on Thursday, September the 5th. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News this morning. Well, we should see a little bit of a cool down today, which should make Thursday and Friday and even Saturday some pretty nice days. Let's bring in meteorologist Kelly McShane for a better breakdown of what to expect on this Friday Eve. Kelly, good morning.
Good morning, Will. Happy Friday Eve. We are so close to the weekend, and those temperatures this afternoon going to be feeling very nice. Already off to a nice start this morning. However, a little bit of fog, especially into Letcher County, Harlan County, and Bell County. So be very careful traveling along in those areas. Now temperatures, we are pretty comfortable this morning, lower to mid 60s for the majority of us. So overall, going to be feeling nice as you step out the door this morning. Now satellite and radar is showing most of us mostly clear. A few clouds heading into southwest Virginia. Now those clouds are from Hurricane Dorian, and I will have more on just how Hurricane Dorian will affect us, as well as our weekend forecast here in just a little bit, Will.
All righty, Kelly, thank you. Well, the death toll from Hurricane Dorian continues to rise in the Bahamas. 20 people were killed, and officials say more are expected. The now Category 3 storm is slowly making its way up the southeastern United States coast. It is expected to bring intense winds and flooding. That's already being felt in downtown Charleston, South Carolina. Police have shut down over a dozen streets due to floods there. While Florida has been largely spared, millions from Georgia to southeastern Virginia could still feel the brunt of Hurricane Dorian. Well, Kentucky Baptist Relief now plans to send a crew to North Carolina to help with hurricane relief efforts. They plan to send 100 people. They say they will go unless Dorian shifts further east. They're not exactly sure what part of North Carolina the volunteers will help. That depends on where Dorian makes the most impact. The law enforcement community across eastern Kentucky remembers one of their own. A crash on the Hal Rogers Parkway took the life of retired Kentucky State Police Trooper Donald Loren Holliday. WYMT's Madison Pergram talked to some of Holliday's friends and colleagues about the legacy he leaves behind.
You just can't replace guys like that.
Guys like Donald Loren Holliday.
You couldn't ask for anybody any better.
It is that same feeling that many people across eastern Kentucky, including law enforcement, feel after losing one of their own.
When you picture a police officer in your head, he's a perfect example of what a police officer should be. Loren was.
Holliday worked for several local law enforcement agencies, a man and a life that Perry County Sheriff Joe Engel says he looks up to.
A man of honor, and anybody would want their child to be, would hope their child would be what Loren Holliday was in life.
But Engel is not the only person with a lot of respect for Holliday.
All the kids at the school really looked up to him.
Reflecting on the impact he most recently had on many kids as a school resource officer.
Some of the pictures on our Facebook, I was looking at them last night, and was him flexing his muscles with the kids and, taking them shopping.
And a person that City of Jackson Police Chief Kenneth Spicer says chose not to be in the spotlight.
He was kind of that would be in the shadows that you really wouldn't know was there, but was there.
A life built around others.
He'd give his whole life to service of others and service to the community.
And as many describe, the ultimate public servant.
I'm sure he'll get his reward for that.
In Perry County, Madison Pergram, WYMT Mountain News.
Holliday worked for several law enforcement agencies, including the Perry County Sheriff's Department, Hazard Police Department, City of Jackson Police Department, and Kentucky State Police. Loren Holliday was 43 years old. Yesterday would have been his 44th birthday. We do hope to learn his funeral arrangements later today. Holliday was once a member of Governor Matt Bevin's executive detail. The governor was in eastern Kentucky yesterday and took a moment to remember Holliday. He was emotional when speaking of him and his grieving family.
Having lost my oldest child in a similar fashion, I know that there's no words that describe it. So I know what they're going through in some way, and I can't put it into words other than to say that I just ask this community, put your arms around little Bennett, love on him, love on this family. This is the greatness of this community. This is a community that knows how to take care of its own, and I just simply ask people to do that.
You can hear more from Governor Bevin on Holliday on our website at WYMT.com. The finishing touches are underway at the Appalachian Wireless Arena for this year's Shaping Our Appalachian Region Summit. Those involved say the event is expected to be larger than last year, which means a lot of preparations. The summit will kick off this afternoon with brainstorming and overview sessions. This will allow people to contribute ideas and work together in a new way. A new pitch competition will take place at the Appalachian Center for the Arts at 5 p.m. Executive Director Jared Arnett says the SOAR partners and production team work hard to make sure the summit is something those in the region can be proud of.
If you wonder, is there a future in Appalachia, you can walk through this place and know there are people working to create that and make sure there is.
The summit will follow Friday. Among other things, Arnett says he expects an announcement from the governor and Congressman Hal Rogers regarding the Kentucky Wired project. Later today, a McCreary County man will appear back in court. Michael Huff faces charges in connection with the death of a toddler. This is Huff right here on your screen. Police arrested him last week in McCreary County. State police say 2-year-old Kimber Collins died after being assaulted. Troopers say Huff was watching the child at the time. Huff is charged with assault, but prosecutors plan to file a murder charge. Today is his preliminary hearing. Meanwhile, this morning we could learn the trial date for Elwood 6. This man you see, 6 faces a first-degree manslaughter charge. Investigators in Martin County say he killed Rodney Stepp in 2017. Earlier this year, a judge delayed his trial. Well, later today, miners will make their way back to a Charleston, West Virginia courtroom. It will be day 2 of an evidentiary hearing over the hot goods coal. Yesterday, miners sat at the protest site listening in to day 1. They told WIMT's Connor James it's getting frustrating.
Your Honor,
listening to voices from hundreds of miles away. Miners gathered around a speaker patched into a courtroom in Charleston, West Virginia.
How do they think we're not owed no wages?
perhaps
There's a hot goods order in place that keeps the coal they're blocking from leaving.
need to be segregated.
BJMS alluded that there's no way of telling if the coal in the train cars is from the hot goods
Here
period.
Right now, Your Honor,
They're trying to claim that the coal was run before any of this went on. Then that coal should be able to be sold. It's all mixed together. They can't separate it.
To be considered hot goods, the coal had to be mined during the period when the miners worked but weren't paid. Daryl Raleigh was joined by others who listened as the Department of Labor and BJMS questioned their former co-workers.
I'm honored that they did that for us, was able to go up there and do that for us.
Jeff Willig listened to his friends in Charleston testify.
a serious fight on this issue of hot goods.
He is frustrated that it has come to this.
And, you know, they're going to still try to push this issue of the train being moved. That's how I feel, without paying us.
The judge will have to decide whether or not to lift that order, but regardless of the outcome,
If we don't get paid, we're staying. Plain and simple.
We're going to stop it, like we did before.
Now, that was Connor James reporting. There was no decision made on whether the judge will lift that hot goods order. They will reconvene in the courtroom again today. Well, the state labor cabinet has sent dozens of letters in the last few weeks to require companies to post their bond requirement. It is in a new report from the Herald Leader. Black Jewel did not post the bond. It is why miners have not been paid in weeks. That bond covers a month's worth of pay. The Attorney General's office said no coal companies in the state had paid that. The Herald Leader reports each letter from the state gives company 15 days to respond or pay the bond. New this morning, 2 people charged after a neighbor found a 5-year-old boy running around outside will appear in court. Deputies in Knox County arrested Bridget Doolin and Ray Mills Jr. Investigators say they were sleeping inside a home in the Woolham community. Deputies say the 2 did not know where the 2-year-old and 5-year-old they were caring for were. Doolin and Mills are charged with endangering the welfare of a minor. One lane of Main Street in Hazard was closed Wednesday as construction of the art station continues. In the past few months, they have taken off the back of the building, but yesterday they are taking down the front and back walls. It may look like the building is coming down, but board president of the Appalachian Arts Alliance, Bailey Richards, says they are just opening it up to become a courtyard.
It's been one of those projects that's kind of been weighing on us. How are we going to get this going? What's it going to look like? How are we going to move? And to have all of those, fundraising things behind us and be able to kind of move forward with the next phase of fundraising and the next phases of construction is just so nice.
They plan to throw a party in October when they hope the start of the art station will be, when they hope parts of the art station will be open.
Temperatures not feeling too bad out there this morning. We are in the 60s for the most part. Over into Pikeville, we're at 63 degrees. Harlan is at 65. Middlesboro, a touch warmer at 66, and a little bit cooler heading into Williamsburg at 63 degrees this morning. Now visibility is looking reduced into Harlan and Bell counties as well as Letcher County. So just be very careful traveling along US 119 this morning or traveling anywhere throughout those counties. Now heading throughout the day, all we're going to see is a mixture of sun and clouds. Overall, those temperatures going to increase into the 70s by the time we get to lunchtime. No rain chances for today. As we head into those evening hours, temperatures will be pretty comfortable into the mid to upper 70s. Now, I will have the latest on Hurricane Dorian and our weekend forecast here in just a little bit.
Definitely something we're going to want to tune into, Kelly. Thank you. Well, we will have stories trending on WYMT.com next. As always, thank you for joining us right here on Mountain News this morning. State leaders are taking the dangers of vaping seriously. Their new push to keep Kentuckians healthy. Plus, we're closing in on fall. Everybody can take a deep breath. But how is the weather impacting the pumpkin crop? We talk with a farmer.